What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Elfuzzzo, back again with another hot sauce and comic book review. Hope everybody's doing great. Okay, this week's sauce was sent to me by a very awesome member of the Comic Book Fiend Club, which I am a part of, Mr. My Life as Fez. Ruben, you are the best man, and thank you so much for this. This is the Devil's Sauce. Very cool bottle that I will be saving once all this sauce is gone. Hopefully it tastes good. And the book we are reviewing today is actually a Marvel book. Holy shit, right? It is called Fear Itself. Very excited to jump in. Very excited to get this whole thing kicked off and started. So let's get into it. We're going to do it the same way as last week. I'm just going to put the sauce straight on a spoon. This is a big boy here, so I'll just dip the spoon on in there since I don't have to pour any of this out. The pepper in this sauce is aged red peppers. That's all it said on the tag for it. So I didn't read jalapeno, I didn't read ghost, I didn't read reaper, just aged red peppers. So I don't know, chili peppers, just all different types of red peppers. But as we always do, maybe, oh, there it is. All right. Sealed on there. Very sweet smell to it. Very sweet, normal hot sauce smell. There's a lot of sweetness I can smell in there, though. But I'm very excited to talk about Fear Itself. As most of you know, if you've been watching a lot of these, I am not a huge Marvel guy. I've just recently started reading a lot more Marvel this year, so some of this stuff, sometimes when I read Marvel books, a lot of it's lost on me. This had some portions that were a little bit lost on me, but we'll get into it as we talk the book. But first, let's get into the sauce. Very sweet smell so far. Doop. Get a good bit on there. Don't want to get dripping everywhere. Don't know if you guys can see. I tried to use the see-through plastic spoons. But cheers, and here we go. Very bitter. Not really getting anything heat-wise. Flavor's not terrible, though. It's just very sweet. It's a very sweet sauce. There's a little bit of heat there, but nothing, nothing too bad. I'm gonna try another one. Yeah. Not a bad sauce at all. I'm not getting anything really from the heat. I mean, I guess there's a little bit going on, just that hot saucy kind of like, hey, you just ate hot sauce. You know what I mean? Very sweet, though. Almost bitter. I don't know. It's not bad, though. I'm trying to think in my head of what foods that would probably go good with, but I'm running a blank right now. Because, like I said, there's just a very, very heavy sweetness to it. As for the name of the sauce being the Devil's Sauce, might want to change your name. Because not that hot. But we'll get into the book. Fear Itself. This is actually the trade that I read. So it's the issues of Fear Itself. And also it starts with Fear Itself, Book of the Skull. So we have Fear Itself, that main story is which I'm primarily going to be focusing on. The writer is Matt Fraction, and the art was done by Stuart Immonen. I thought the art in this book was very, very good. I went into it seeing the cover and everything, thinking it was going to be more of an Avengers-based story, which it kind of was, but it was very, very Thor-driven. But we'll get into it. The beginning of it starts off basically. I believe the beginning is the Book of the Skull, and Red Skull has a daughter. You're a Marvel fan, you probably know that, and you're like, duh. But I'm not a Marvel fan. I had no idea Red Skull had a daughter, so I was kind of taken aback by that. I was like, what? And she's hanging out with Baron Zemo, and they are looking for something that Red Skull hid a long time ago. And they're looking. They find it, and what it turns out to be is basically back in World War II, Red Skull summoned something. They didn't know what it was. He summoned something down to help the Nazis win the war. You know, Red Skull, Captain America shit. But they were foiled by Cap, Bucky, and Namor, so that obviously didn't come to pass. But anyhow, his daughter picks up where he left off, actually unlocks everything, and this is where it turns. And this is when it turned into a primarily Thor-based story, which I was very excited about because I am learning about myself that I'm actually a pretty big Thor fan. It could be in part that one of my closest friends and podcast co-host, Mr. Brando Comics, is such a Thor head. But the Thor stories I've read have been very good, and this becomes that. So basically, she unlocks the rest of what Red Skull was trying to do, which is summoning the Serpent, who they start calling, when he shows up, the Allfather, which we all thought was Odin. So then it plays out where it basically turns out that the Serpent is trying to overtake, the home world of Thor and, dethrone Odin and everything like that. Lots of very cool action, lots of very cool mythology, lots of very cool character developments. So basically what happens when they unlock that, though, is the Serpent summons down a bunch of different weapons. And with these weapons come what are dubbed the Worthy. And they all drop in different parts of the world, and different actual superheroes end up finding them and touching them and being possessed, if you will, by the Worthy. Like Hulk gets possessed, the Thing gets possessed. I'm trying to remember. I don't want to give too much away, but certain superheroes get possessed, and villains. A couple of villains, like the Absorbing Man, I believe, gets possessed. And so they start, just mowing down the entire world, because it turns out that Serpent feeds on fear. So anyhow, I don't want to give too much more away. Lots of cool action, great writing. Like, Matt Fraction did an awesome job. Like, I was enthralled from the very beginning of it until the very end of it. I was very, very into this story. But the really cool thing for me from this story is it shows you a big chunk of the relationship between Odin and Thor, and how Thor feels about the human race, even though he is a god. It's very, very, heart-wrenching as well. I thought it was a phenomenal read. I do recommend it. If you're a Marvel fan, even if you're not a Marvel fan, pick up the trade, dude, and read the whole shop. Pop, right there. I'm sure you can pick it up on Comixology for $5 or something, or you can buy the actual book, from a shop, anything like that, for, probably 15, 20, maybe even 10. But let's get to the ratings of everything, because that's where we're at here. The Devil's Sauce. Aged red peppers. A bunch of other cool stuff. As for flavor, I am going to have to give this a 3. Very, very bitter. I can't really think off the top of my head something that this would mesh very well with, unless you are looking to sweeten up something, because it is very sweet sauce. It's got the sweetness Almost got the sweetness of a marinara type, spaghetti Italian type sauce. Very bright flavor. As for the heat, this is a definite one. Might be one of the weakest sauces I've ever tried. To me personally, obviously, if you pick this up and, check it out and it burns you, and we just have different, heat levels. So I give that a 1 for heat. I give it a 3 for flavor. Switching over to the book, Marvel's Fear Itself. I honestly give this a 9 out of 10. This was a great read. I was interested the whole time. I found myself caring about characters that I don't care much for. I found myself actually being interested in Iron Man because he plays a pivotal role. And if you know me, I am very anti-Iron Man. I don't like Iron Man. I've never liked the character. There's not much you can do to sell me on the character. But Matt Fraction actually kind of made me interested in Iron Man a little bit. So you get a big win for that. The art, Stuart Immonen did a great job. The inkers on the book did a great job. The colorists, everything pops. Everything's great. So Fear Itself, 9 out of 10. Sauce Heat, 1 out of 10. Sauce Flavor, 3 out of 10. I want to say thank you again to My Life is Fez. Ruben, thank you so much for this. I absolutely love it. I love the jar. The sauce may not have been, in one of my top sauces, but that's how it works with hot sauce sometimes, guys. You go out on whims, you buy sauces you never heard of, you taste them, either they burn your ass or they don't taste good and they burn your ass, or, there's a lot of different things. But as always, thank you so much for joining me every Friday. I believe I will be doing guests. I know I've been saying this now for the past 2 videos, but I'm working on lining somebody up for the next week or 2 weeks away. So we'll get that. We'll do everything. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're into this. Either this channel you're watching or the Comic Book Fiend Club channel. Make sure you check out all creator content of people that are doing stuff on the Comic Book Fiend Club channel or associated with them. I also want to give a big old shout out to any other hot sauce videos that you guys check out. Man, send them my way. I love to watch people try hot stuff, man. It's a lot of fun, and I want to support everybody. That's my big thing, man, is support. As always, thank you. We will see you next time. Booyah!